Here is a terrific recipe for a pizza focaccia hybrid, our Arrabbiata-Style slab pizza. This pizza dough is a little bit wetter than a typical pizza dough, but not quite as wet as our pour-in-the-pan pizza. Topped with a spicy tomato sauce, rich fontina and pecorino cheese, and a few sliced pepperoncini on top for a little bit of vinegary kick. Now, dough hydration refers to the amount of water in weight to the amount of flour. In this case, this is about a 78% hydration. Our pour-in-the-pan pizza, or focaccia dough, is closer to 95% hydration. It's very runny. A classic pizza dough is 75% hydration. Still tight enough you can pick it up and stretch it, but there's enough water to make a nice soft dough. So this is a middle-of-the-road hybrid, and it's very simple to make. I've got water here, just room temperature water, doesn't need to be warm. I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of olive oil in here. Focaccia classically has quite a bit more olive oil in the dough. The other thing I'll do, since I have the oil out, is get the pan ready. This takes a good amount, about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. The crust, this will be nice and crunchy on the outside and soft and bready in the middle, like a nice olive oil focaccia. Just gonna kind of spread it around. Now, one other quick addition, I have semolina flour here. It's milled from a very hard durum wheat. So it's a little bit different color. It's like cornmeal. It's got a bit of a grit to it. Pizza will slide right off. I'm gonna sprinkle it on the bottom of the pan. That's also gonna help make the bottom of our slab pizza nice and crispy and crunchy. And a bonus, it will help keep the pizza from sticking to the pan. There's a lot of oil on here, but it's a rather wet dough. And when you pour it into the pan here, it can stick. So in the mixing bowl is our bread flour. We use bread flour here so we have nice gluten structure. Now, more of that semolina. That will also help with texture. A little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar here. That will flavor the dough, but also helps our yeast to come to life. I'm just gonna turn the mixer on low, get that mixed up. I'm gonna slowly drizzle in our water and olive oil mixture. So now that all the liquid's in, we'll mix this for a couple minutes till the dough comes together. Give the bowl a scrape, turn it up to medium, and mix for about 5 more minutes. So the dough is getting nice and stretchy and it's pulling away from the bowl. That's what you're looking for. I'm gonna scrape it out onto the prepared sheet pan and it'll just start to settle down into the pan. Just drizzle a little olive oil over it. So just cover this loosely with plastic wrap and let this rest for about 30 minutes. The dough will relax down into the pan. We'll just press it into the edges and treat it like a focaccia from there out. In the meantime, I can make the sauce. When we were developing this recipe, we found that we needed a little bit of a Goldilocks moment with the sauce. Too thin would soak into the dough and our slab pizza would be dry. When the sauce was too thick, it got a little clumpy and would burn in spots because the dough wasn't completely covered in it. So we're starting out with a little bit of olive oil, about 3 tablespoons, and some garlic right into the cold oil. I'm gonna cook this just for a couple minutes until the garlic starts to brown a little bit, and I'm also gonna toss in some chili flakes for heat. This is an arrabbiata sauce based on penne arrabbiata, or the classic Italian sauce, which is very spicy, very garlicky, and basically a tomato sauce. Now the tomatoes, small can, 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes, and then a half cup of water. I'm gonna rinse out this can with it so I get every bit of tomato flavor I can, and some salt and pepper, about a half teaspoon of each. So bring this to a boil, turn it down to a simmer, and let it cook for about 15 minutes until it reduces to about 1.5 cups. It will be somewhere between a margarita sauce and a tomato paste. We want this to be a thick sauce, but not so thick that I can't spread it. So this is my pizza dough. It's been resting about 30 minutes. I'm gonna wet my fingers here. It's nice and soft. We wanna gently coax it out towards the edge of the pan. Try not to poke too deep. If we were making focaccia, you might go really deep into it. This doesn't have as much yeast in it, so it's not gonna get those giant bubbles. This is going to rest again for another 30 minutes, at which time it will relax even more and we can finish pressing it out all the way to the edges. After the second 30-minute rise, you can see it's puffing up nicely. It's spread out a little bit more. I'm just gonna give it a little bit more of a coax out into the corners. Cover it up again. This time we'll rest them for about 20 minutes, top it, and into the oven. I'm ready to assemble this slab pizza. The sauce is not piping hot. Let it cool down a bit. Spread this out over the surface, right up to the edge. This is not a bland old margarita cheese and mozzarella. I'm going with fontina here as that nice, nutty, rich flavor. You need about 3 cups for this. Courtney, who developed this in our kitchen, began to refer to this as cafeteria pizza. Remember that thick pizza you used to get in school, but so much better. I'm not choosing Parmesan here. Pecorino Romano is a nice, sharp, bold flavor. And these are really our primary toppings here. If you like, you can add pepperoni. If you want a little bit of crumbled sausage on here, you certainly could. I'm just gonna finish up with some sliced pepperoncini. I like a bright burst of vinegary pepper. Goes great with the spicy arrabbiata sauce. This is going into a 500-degree preheated oven, rack right in the center. Very hot oven, as hot as it'll go. So here's our beautiful Arrabbiata-style slab pizza. It's really nice and dark and caramelized around the edges. That gives it lots of good flavor. It should be nice and crispy on the bottom. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful height, focaccia-like, nice crisp crust on the bottom. Perfect amount of sauce and cheese on top. That is a great slab pizza. There is a fair amount of heat in there from the chili flakes, and I get a really rich roasted toasted garlic flavor. This is so good. So good. You can get a few more variations of slab pizza in our new cookbook, Milk Street Bakes. There's great recipes for a sausage, chard, and onion pizza, portobello mushroom and ricotta, lots of other great flatbread and savory items as well, lots of variations of pizza, including one pour in the pan recipe.